Hello and welcome. Here at GE Plastics, we pride ourselves on maintaining the highest possible standard of environment, health and safety. As part of this commitment, all people working on site must understand GE's safety requirements. I'm Kyla, and as part of this video, John, Steve and myself will be taking you through our site safety induction.
GE Plastics requires all personnel to follow safe operating practices and procedures, safeguarding themselves and other employees at all times. Contractors and visitors arriving at the site are required to park in the visitors' car park and then proceed to reception. Here you'll be asked to sign a visitor's book and you'll be issued with a visitor's pass. Thanks. Visitors' passes must be worn at all times on site, and if you're entering into the plant, you'll be issued with safety glasses, a helmet and high visibility vest. Upon leaving the site, you've got to sign out and return any personal protective equipment. Oh, and the badge too. Swipe cards are issued to all employees and used for identification purposes and for access to the administration building and the customer service building. They're also used for vehicle access to the site. When moving around the plant, the green pedestrian walkways and pedestrian crossings must be used. When entering or exiting factories and workshops, use the pedestrian doors, not the roller doors. When you're ascending or descending stairs, place at least one hand on the rail. The speed limit for vehicles on site is walking pace. Pedestrians and loaded forklifts have right of way.
Around the site, but especially in manufacturing areas, certain personal protective equipment is required. In the manufacturing area, the minimum requirement is a safety hat, safety glasses, hearing protection, high-vis clothing or a vest, and safety footwear. Observe signs such as these which indicate the personal protective equipment required, and always wear the equipment before entering the area. Additional PPE may be required for various tasks. Ensure you are aware of other PPE requirements through your supervisor. Wardens have been nominated for all areas within GEPA. The notice board in your building will show you who your area warden is. Chief Fire Wardens wear a labelled white hat and area wardens wear a labelled yellow hat. There are 2 assembly areas on site. You should move to the nearest assembly area during an emergency. Should you come across an emergency, activate the nearest break glass alarm, call emergency extension 300, call emergency services by dialling 000 or alert the nearest GE personnel. There are 2 alarm signals at GE Plastics. The warning siren is a repeated steady tone. On hearing a warning siren, cease work and prepare to evacuate. Turn off power tools and gas cylinders. The evacuation siren is a repeated rising tone. Move immediately to the evacuation assembly area. Do not attempt to leave the assembly area until instructed by the Chief Warden. GE Plastics has a first aid room equipped to cope with most minor injuries. Qualified first aid attendants are on site at all times and can be identified from the notice board in your area. First aid attendants wear green hats. All site incidents, including near misses, first aid cases and spills, must be reported to your supervisor, who will enter them into the first aid incident log. In the event of a spill, firstly make sure the area is safe, and then contain the spill from entering our sewers and stormwater drains by using spill kits such as these, which are located around the site. Then as soon as possible, inform a GE representative.
It is unlawful for you to discriminate against or harass anybody whilst dealing with GE in any capacity. You should refer to the Spirits in the Letter book and consult your supervisor or the GE ombudsperson should you have any concerns. Smoking is not permitted on site except within designated smoking areas. The site has a health and safety committee which meets regularly to discuss issues and ensure that appropriate action is taken. Your manager will introduce you to the occupational health and safety representative for your area, and you will find photographs of all site occupational health and safety representatives on the notice board in your building. The site has a number of safety programs. The behavioural-based safety program involves trained observers undertaking peer-on-peer observations and providing feedback on safe and at-risk behaviours. The safety contact program involves staff members having an informal discussion with the workforce on various safety issues. If you wish to remain on site after hours, which is after 8 p.m. at night and before 6 a.m. in the morning, you're required to sign in and out using the register located in the Quality Control Laboratory. This is to ensure that your presence on site is known. Be sure you notify your supervisor in these instances so they can direct you to the appropriate location. New office staff are required to have an ergonomic assessment completed on their workstation upon commencement. So please ensure you see your supervisor or the Environment, Health and Safety Department to arrange an assessment with our site physio. If you are required to drive a company vehicle, you must be on the approved driver list. If you are a frequent user of a company vehicle, for example sales personnel, you must also undertake defensive driver training. Your manager will arrange this training for you. Factory personnel starting work on the blending floor should be aware of potential hazards. Manual handling. Be conscious of using your legs, not your back when lifting, and if in doubt, always ask for assistance. Also, overhead cranes. Be aware of their location and operation. You will be trained using a task book referring to safe operating procedures. Make sure you understand the hazards that exist in your area.